Hello, people. Listen, I have gotten a lot of requests that people want me to follow up my last story on Kyle Rittenhouse, how the prosecutor really messed up, and how the trial all of a sudden took a tilt because one of the prosecutor put someone on the stand that was supposed to basically make Kyle Rittenhouse look like he was some kind of evil killer. But what happened instead, his testimony, he admitted in his testimony, for one, he had a gun charge on him, and he had a gun that he was pointing at Kyle Rittenhouse's head at the time of the shooting. So this guy wasn't even supposed to have a gun on him. It was an illegal gun. So what happened, he never got charged for having an illegal gun, but Kyle Rittenhouse did. The prosecutors did not want to charge this guy with the Gross Cross is his name, by the way. They did not want to charge this guy because they wanted to use him as a witness against Kyle Rittenhouse, but it backfired. Uh, it backfired because in the beginning he said that he wasn't pointing the gun at his head, and the defense attorney got him to admit that the gun was pointed at Rittenhouse's head, and that's why Rittenhouse pulled up his gun and blew the guy's elbow off, disintegrated his elbow. But anyway, I want to play you a couple videos to keep you up on this, and then we'll go from there. But right now, the trial, all phases of the trial is over. It's going to be going to the jury this week, probably Monday or Tuesday. I believe final arguments will be Monday, and Tuesday it will go to the jury. You know, juries are funny. And a case might look like it's going to go one direction, where everybody's like, "Oh, the kid's going to get off," and maybe it won't happen. But I don't see how one person on that jury, all you need is one person, won't come forward and vote not guilty. And also, uh, the gun charge. The judge has agreed to possibly drop the gun charge, which means if he beats the murder charge, he'll look at no time. The only time he'll do is the time that he's already served when he was in prison, in jail before uh, Ricky Schroeder, the actor, came up with the bail to get him out. Um, so listen, let me play this first.
I just watched about 15 minutes of the Kyle Rittenhouse trial where Kyle sat on the stand and described the violence that was committed against him by the lawless thugs who were trying to destroy his community. Think of elite leadership in this country. This is an indictment of the prosecutor who did nothing to stop the violence in Kenosha, but is now trying to destroy Kyle Rittenhouse's life. This is a disgusting indictment of our premises before the facts rolled in. This is an indictment of our social media companies who refuse to let Kyle fund his own criminal defense on their platform, even though they act in American cities last summer. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us as patriots to stand up, because if we don't fight back against the lawlessness, if we don't defend this young boy who defend your baby boy that they come for, it'll be your children whose lives they try to destroy when no one else is defending their communities.
And I just wanted to play that. I just wanted to play that because the guy's right. You know, this guy should have never even been brought up on charges. You know, he should have been charged right at with illegally having possession of the gun, and maybe at the most look at a year in jail. Now the judge is so upset with the prosecutor that he's willing to throw out the gun charge. So, but here, I want to introduce you to the people he shot. See, you're not hearing this, but here, I'm going to take a little clip from Sean Hannity. Listen, I'm not going to get monetized on this video. I can guarantee you that. Fox is going to say, no, 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 no. But anyway, let me see. Let me pull up the next video I want you to see. But I want to show you Sean Hannity video because it's very important. And look, I had a guy on here mock me for being a person that likes Fox. Well, you know what? I don't like any of the networks really, But if I had to watch any of the networks, yes, I would watch Fox. Okay, let me, and if that pisses anybody off, I really don't give a shit. I'm proud of my politics. Okay, let's see. Okay, I put this video right where I want it. Now I'm going to introduce you to the people that he shot. Now, they say that's, remember this, this is the funny part. This happened at a BLM rally. But and people like, he's a racist, he's a white supremacist. He didn't shoot any black people. He shot 3 bad white guys. I mean, and you'll see what I mean by bad. Here we go.
A 36-year-old man named Joseph Rosenbaum. Rosenbaum was a pedophile convicted of sexually abusing 5 little boys ages 9 to 11. Prior to the riot in Kenosha, Rosenbaum was in a psychiatric hospital for attempting suicide. And according to Rittenhouse and other eyewitness accounts, Rosenbaum charged Rittenhouse, assaulted him, and then attempted to grab his gun before Rittenhouse ultimately defended himself and discharged his weapon. Now, Rittenhouse was then chased by an angry...
Okay, so we got the first guy shot, Rosenbaum. So this guy, imagine he just got out of jail that morning, actually out of a institution that morning. And he went from prison to there. He was in prison for over 10 years. And he was in prison for molesting 5 boys. And he was a registered sex offender. That's who this first guy was. And this is his first day out of the institution. And he just showed up here. And people are saying, oh, this guy was a protester for BLM. No, he wasn't a protester. He just got out of prison, out of the institution. And he shows up here. Okay, let's go on and pick it up a little bit more. Now, they're going to talk about the second guy that attacked him. Now, the second guy that attacked him, one thing that Sean Hannity ain't going to say, he choked out his girlfriend. And when she went unconscious, he would let go of her throat so she could wake up again. And then he would choke her out again. That's one of the charges, but here's the rest.
Mob, we've shown you this tape of rioters who knocked him to the ground, attempted to literally curb stomp his head right into the pavement. Now, one of the individuals chasing him was a 26-year-old named Anthony Huber. Now, Huber was also a convicted felon who once held his own grandmother and brother at knife point. He was ultimately charged with false imprisonment and choking his brother. Later, he faced drug and disorderly conduct charges. On the night of August the 25th, Huber assaulted Rittenhouse with a skateboard and then attempted to grab his gun before Rittenhouse shot and killed him. His life was in imminent danger. Now, shortly thereafter, the third individual who was shot but survived, his name is Gage Grosskreutz. He pointed...
And one thing they will not talk about Gage Grosskreutz. He's the gentleman that took the gun and put it to Rittenhouse's head, literally pointed it at his head before Rittenhouse blew his elbow off. One thing that they don't mention here is that this guy was in Seattle at an Antifa rally and causing all sorts of crap over there. And then he came here. He got on a plane and flew out to Kenosha to be part of those riots. They like to call them protests, but people, we know they're not protests.
Pointed a loaded gun at Rittenhouse's head. He admitted it on the stand under oath, pointed a loaded gun at his head before Rittenhouse shot him in the arm in self-defense. Now, this guy, Crosscoats, was a 26-year-old college senior who was previously convicted of a gun charge and several other misdemeanors.
So this guy, convicted of a gun charge previously, several misdemeanors, and he shows up at the riots with a handgun illegally. And he does not get charged with having an illegal gun because the prosecution wanted to use him as a witness. And what they didn't do, they didn't prep this guy properly. And when he got on the stands, he blew a big damn hole in their whole case. Okay. And we're going to go to one more little one. And the reason I'm using these is it's a lot easier for me to show it to you so you understand it, and then I can put my little opinions in there, and we'll go from there. And this ain't going to be a long video. I'm going to do these videos, and next on when the trial's over. And the main reason I'm doing these is because a lot of people ask me. I'm not going to get nearly as many views as I usually do doing other stuff, but it doesn't matter to me because I think this is very important to get out to the people that aren't getting the right news. And let me go with this one right here. I'll pull this up. This is the big moment in the trial where the trial just turned. Let's see. This is called the moment Kyle Rittenhouse won. Oops, let me make sure. Okay. Okay, pull this one up, and here we go on this one right here.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him, with your gun, now your hands down, pointed at him, that he fired, right?
Correct.
Oh, shit! That's it!
That's it.
Directed
That's
verdict. Directed verdict on all the murder charges.
That's the prosecutor. This guy up there is his witness. And at that moment, he admitted, understand that guy admitted that he was pointing the gun at Rittenhouse's head before Rittenhouse fired on him. And right before he pointed to the gun, he had his hands up and he was walking toward Rittenhouse. And Rittenhouse kept his gun down. He wouldn't put it up because he seen the guy had his hands up. But the minute that the guy hit him in the head with the skateboard, this guy moves in on him and pulls out his gun. He's ready to execute Rittenhouse. No matter what, Rittenhouse would have been a dead man on that ground.
Look at bigger! Look at bigger!
Look
at big boy! Oh, big boy! Oh, how do you not acquit after that?
A lot of people say at that moment, the defense should have just filed for charges to be dropped because their key witness lied and he got caught on the stand lying. You know, this is a huge trial because the rest of the media has crucified this kid. They're still crucifying him. They're calling him a white supremacist. He's never showed any signs of ever being a racist, ever. And they're saying that when he was crying on the stands, he was faking. I mean, you get one thing after another. Our media is so fucked up. And I'm about to tell my dogs to shut up. But our media is so fucked up that they're not even willing to take evidence. This is evidence, people. Now, we have 12 people. Stop it. We have 12 people on this jury. If they come back with a guilty verdict, it's going to be unbelievable. But here's the problem. If they come back with a not guilty verdict, BLM is threatening to riot all over the country. Why? It was 3 bad white guys that got shot. 3. Pedophile. A guy that strangled his girlfriend. And another guy that shouldn't even had the gun because the gun that he had, he already lost his right to have a gun. I mean, he was already arrested on gun charges. So he had no chance of having that gun. And they're complaining about Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse, see, there was a law. His friend bought him the gun. And this was messed up. Rittenhouse shouldn't have done this. But his friend bought him the gun and held it in Wisconsin, in Kenosha. Now, where he lives in Fox Lake. So where he lived in Fox Lake is only 20 minutes from Kenosha. But he used to visit his father in Kenosha. And the media is saying that he shouldn't even be in Kenosha Why was he in Kenosha? He had no ties to Kenosha. His mother and father was divorced, and he went to see his father in Kenosha. That's a tie. I mean, he went back and forth. But the media is not even mentioning that. They're not mentioning any of this crap. Okay, so that's basically, I just wanted to give you some information that you may not have had. This is a nice short video, and this is what I'm going to drop down, maybe one or two more, and that's it. Well, everybody, have a nice one. Please hit the like if you like this. And if you don't like it, leave the dislike button alone. No, I'm just kidding. And also, as I don't ask you, and I'm almost at 2,500 viewers, please hit my, if you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Okay, everybody, thank you and have a nice one.